I listen to a lot of motivational stuff when I'm at work. David Goggins and all the compilations and everything. A lot of it makes sense. A lot of it is I'm finding out to be true. Again, if you're not open to the thoughts yet, or if you're not there at that level of trying to figure things out or understanding of things, you don't really get it, and it seems like bullshit, and I understand that. But there's just one thing that I don't feel these people talk about, that at least I've noticed, because I've dug deep into this as much as I can, and I do it every day. And that is, there is a path that you have to take to start changing and transforming. I call it the path. You could probably also call it the internal path. Now, I'm going to start with the first little while on that path fucking sucks. It fucking emotionally and mentally sucks and can be very confusing as you start seeing holes in your system of living and believing and thinking. The path is a choice. You cannot half-ass it. Don't think that you can just run into this and go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the path eternally, and it's not that simple. And if you don't go into this with a constant awareness of how you think and feel, and a genuine need to transform yourself, to change yourself, this will never work. And I've looked at it from all angles, and that's my conclusion on it. It won't work. You just want to have to first desperately want to change. Like, to the point where you are ready to do whatever the hell it takes, and you are willing to change yourself on a fundamental level. And this path never ends. This internal path never ends. It gets easier. At the beginning, it's just like a dense brush, very dense, and you're just slowly trying to get your way through it, and you get lost, you get scared, you go back a bit, but then you're like, no, maybe if I just go through here a little bit more, maybe there's something. That's kind of how you live for a while. Eventually, the brush starts clearing out. The path becomes a little more clearer. But then eventually you will get to a point where you are kind of in this deep forest part where it is extremely beautiful. But the things you deal with are a lot more deep on a intellectual level, an emotional level. So I just want to say that if you decide to do this, you can't half-ass it mentally. You just can't. It's not going to work. You're going to fall off that path every time, but you won't get back on where you fell off and continue on. You're always going to end up on the side and at the beginning again. This does not happen overnight. I've been going at this now for almost 5 or 6 years steady. 5 or 6 years. And it's year, let's say 4 out of 5. No, 5. It's year 5 out of 5, sorry. I'm bad at math. And only now am I starting to have like a natural confidence back, an understanding of, I'm asking fucking deep questions, almost to the point of, well, why am I here? But it's not a question of why am I here, like why am I here so empty, intelligent. Fuck, that made no sense. It is not a why am I here feeling of just an unconscious asking. This is a deep, conscious question of why am I here? What is my purpose? And I used to listen to people like that and be like, what do you mean purpose? It was very superficial thinking. You drop all that and you end up in a very deep train of thought that lasts. I've had a couple lasting for weeks now. You see life in a whole new, different way. You see all the capitalistic systems for what they are. You've learned how to play them. You know how they work. And it's just a thing now. It's just like whatever. You kind of figured out the matrix on a level. And now you're asking extremely deep, meaningful questions about yourself. So that took me 5 years. But I'm telling you, that first walk, man, depending on how messed up you are, and we're all fucking messed up. There's no two ways about that. You're no special than the fucking next person suffering next to you. We all suffer, and we all have insecurities, and we're all fucked up. So let's be honest with each other on that. So depending on just how fucked up you are, that brush at the beginning might be a little bit thicker. And it might take you a little bit longer. But the crazy thing is that if you keep on going on, you're going to realize that you're the one that caused all that brush in the beginning. And it was nobody else. So as you have these little realizations and you start seeing the cracks in yourself, the path just becomes a little bit easier. It's been a very interesting transformation that I've been on. Sorry, I got a drink. A very interesting path. What made me change was and I'll get to these stories on the hows and whys, I'm sure, one day. But after a major bout of the most terrifying panic attacks I've ever had in my life, or I've ever experienced, and a complete fucking mental breakdown where I truly believe that I thought I lost my mind. I thought I was fucking mentally done for. Like, I'm going to be just fucking haywire for the rest of my life. And then to find out that I'm 285 pounds, which is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. Like, that is when it all hit, and I was like, I need to make a fundamental fucking change in my whole way of living. Because the transformation is all multiple layers, like I said. Like, you got to get physically healthy. It's part of it. You have to. It's a whole fucking system. If you want everything to go right. First things first, get your fucking health in line. That took me 3 years to get back to a very healthy state, physical state. 3 years. Like I said, it's not easy. It's not fast. But I mean, there were changes emotionally and mentally during those 3 years. Because it all works on a system. The path is a whole system. It's your whole system. It's your physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. So everything's got to get rebalanced. Because if you're out of whack, everything is unbalanced. You might be high spiritually, but emotionally you're fucking garbage. You might be extremely intellectual, but you suck physically. You have no spirituality. And you have tons of insecurities blocking up your emotional realm. So first you got to get everything evened out. So you start with the physical, because the physical, once you start feeling better, it cascades. You have more energy, you're sleeping better, your body's running better. You do get a fucking inside glow. You feel a physical glow. Sounds corny as fuck. It does. Sounds so corny. It's fucking true. It's fucking true. And that's what I say, like when you go into this, you have to go into this open-minded to everything that comes to you. And you gotta question everything. So I went into this, I was like, okay, we'll get physical. And I stayed aware of how I was feeling. Awareness was key through all of this. Awareness is the number one thing through all this. You have to become aware of yourself more. That's part of this path, this game we're going on. So as you feel better physically, the energy starts changing in your body. And yeah, the energy thing's real too. Who would have fucking thought? Fucking true. And you feel it, you know it. If you're aware, you know it. You feel, man, you just... So boom, you start feeling better physically. Well, guess what? Then your mind kind of goes, well, what else can I do to feel better? Like if I feel better now, like what else can I do? And you start looking for other things, positive things. Now through all this, you're still battling. Like this, it's not like you're going to change your thoughts overnight and your habits. It's absolutely not, man. There's no way. It is going to be a mental fucking battle every fucking day in that brush. Because you're trying to instill these new thoughts that feel absolutely alien to your body and to your feelings and to your thoughts and to your habits and patterns. They feel alien. They hurt. But then guess what? You got to go, why do they hurt? Why do I feel uncomfortable about this? That's the awareness. You start actually becoming more conscious and realizing like, wait, what's this person who's watching and thinking about everything, or watching myself think? Like, who is that person? Who's that voice? Not the narrator voice that you hear every day that fucking bitches about you and just drags the negativity on. No, there's another voice that is kind of like, hey, what's going on over here? You got to get that guy or girl more. That's the one who's going to be the awareness in you. You got to bring that forward more. You know, when you're stuck in a habit and you're like, I fucking hate this fucking job. Well, you got to go, wait. Why am I saying these things to myself? And why do I hate my job? Do I hate my job? Like, why does it make me feel uncomfortable? We're not okay inside. Nobody is fucking okay inside. And you got to start questioning, like, why don't I feel good inside? Not why does my knees hurt? Why does this? No. Why don't I feel good inside? And I'll give you hints. 1, you're chasing happiness, which doesn't exist. 2, you're constantly fucking comparing and judging. 3, you haven't dealt with your shit. That's your starting point. That is your starting point. Look inside and go, why don't I feel good inside? And fuck, if you have to write it out, write it out. But then really look. Don't be like, I don't like my job. No. Do you even know why you don't like your job? Really, do you know why? Do you know the values that it doesn't fill in your value system, in your belief system, in your needs system? Are you just saying, I don't like my job because everyone else says they don't like their job and it's just easy to be fucking negative? Guess what? You don't have to actually be negative every fucking day. You don't. Because I was negative every fucking day. Everything that came out of my mouth was negative. I hate this. I hate that. Fuck, I wish I was this. I wish I was rich. I wish I had that. That fucking person. Why does that fucking person have that? I don't fucking have that. I deserve that. Yeah, that's all fucking negativity. It's bullshit. And it's your belief system. But it's just a belief system. We can change that. You can change that. I've changed that. Still changing it. Never will stop changing it. That's what transformation is. You're always wanting to be the better you. Always. You do something, you go, fuck, I did that. Like, what else? If I can do this, well, can I do this? And you just keep growing. And that's when you're hitting potential, and it's never ending potential because you're always going. But you also have to watch out because things like that can become a bad pattern and habit. And that's when the awareness has to come back in. Maybe that's one of your insecurities. You constantly need to be social. But you have to see that, hey, that's part of me. And I also need to control it a little bit and be balanced in it. That's the awareness, instead of just being like, oh, I always need to be social. I love being social. This is the great being social. No, you might have something there. Look into that. And I'm jumping from topic to topic. And I'm sorry. But I'm just going with whatever's popping in my head right now. So I was saying I had to take that path. And every day you battle the good and the bad. And it's going to feel alien. It's going to feel uncomfortable. But you just got to keep going. Because you've tried being the old you, and look where it got you. So what if you did everything opposite from what you were doing? And no matter what, you just stay to that. You don't say hi to people in the morning, say hi to people in the morning. Yeah, fuck, it feels uncomfortable, but just try it. You'll see a huge difference pretty fucking quickly if you just do that. That's what I started with. I got to the point I was just like, well, if I've lived to this point and everything I've done has been bad and wrong, and it seems like my life has been on repeat, but just like the same storyline, but different face, like a fucking Hallmark movie. Same storyline, different faces, different towns. And that's what it is. New job, but it's the same as your last job. Just maybe a little bit more money. Same complaints. 6 months into your job, people are annoying. They won't stop complaining. Really? It was like that at the other job. Maybe it's you. You're joining in on it. You're falling to it. These are the things you have to look at. These are the things that will get you the answers to start changing. Because you don't have the answers. You don't even know the questions yet when you start. You're just fucking going, being like, I need to change. So these are a couple things to start with. Start looking at what you're thinking. And I know when you're like, yeah, but I've thought this my whole life. Like, no, you've told yourself that you've thought that way and believed that way all your life. The people around you, because of what you believe, tell you the same thing. Do you see the connection here? It's like if you decide to buy a new car and you start seeing blue cars everywhere, because that's the color car you want, you know? If you think the thoughts you think, you're going to see those thoughts in everybody else around you. If you believe the things that you're going to believe, you're going to see that in all the people around you. Because it's going to, fucking oddly enough, which I still find ridiculous, attract each other. That exists too. I know. Didn't believe it myself. It exists. And if you continue, you'll understand one day that it does exist. But you're not going to understand it at the beginning. You're not going to understand fucking any of this shit at the beginning. Nothing. That first little while, man, I hate to fucking tell you, you're going to be alone. You're going to be very fucking alone. It is fucking hard and it's scary at times. It's fucking lonely, and it's lonely for a while. But you don't have any of the questions yet. But you can start just by looking. Just by looking. Just by feeling, being like, I don't feel good. Well, what's the question? Well, why don't I feel good? There you go. That's how it's going to happen. I'm always thinking this negative thought. Well, why do I keep thinking this negative thought? See? That's the beginning until you start clearing out the brush and start getting into deeper questions. Because by then, you've learned everything in the brush. So it's in your system. It downloads into your brain, your subconscious, shit kind of cleared out. You've made some changes. You're starting to feel better because you're working out. You're starting to feel better because you're working through some thoughts and some emotions. And spiritually, you raise a little bit. And you don't go back down, you stay. Yes, the whole spirit thing, it's all fucking real. I couldn't even believe it myself. I thought all this stuff really was bullshit. I've read it for a decade, but I never saw it. And I know now it's because I was not ready to ask the right questions, to understand everything behind it. And it's levels. And you'll know when you change levels because you'll feel it. You'll almost have this like, I'm not waking up tomorrow the same person because of this. You're leveling up. You feel it. You feel a shift emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Excuse me. And that's what I don't think is talked about enough. It's very simple to say things, like, oh, you take the path and you stay disciplined and consistent. Yes, 100%. But they don't tell you in what do you have to stay disciplined and consistent. It's in everything. If you want transformation, and again, I am no fucking expert in this at all. This is all based on my own experience and how deep I have gone into the fucking abyss of my mind to figure this out. And I go there every day, almost all day sometimes. I'm in there digging around to figure this shit out for myself. And this is what I see. And it's no disrespect to any of those guys or girls, because they're all right. They're just explaining it in their own way. So I'm explaining it in my own way. And to me, my brain is like, when I get hooked on something, I just gotta fucking know why it works that way. Where did it come from? Why? Why is it still here? How does this do it? How does that work? But why is it this way? So I've gone off the fucking deep end, and I'm in my mind trying to figure this stuff out. So the discipline is real. Consistency is real. Being brutally fucking honest with yourself is real, is important. Because if you're not, you will not change. And it's gonna hurt. Being honest with yourself about your insecurities and your fears and your shames and regrets that you have. And once you start seeing how all of this affected your life to the point that you are here, then you go, oh my God, I can fucking change this. And you can have that moment of awe too, but it's not fucking easy. But start physically. You have to start. You have to get your health ready, because the other shit you can't skip things on this. You can't skip any of it. And being physically healthy is 100% part of the game if you want a full transformation. Now, there's people who can transform emotionally and mentally, I'm sure. But if they're fucking overweight, eating Twinkies all fucking day, I'm telling you right now, they're not on the right full path. You can't be. Because this is a full fucking game. And again, this is the average person. I'm telling you from the average point of view person, physical health, you have to get it to a certain level. You have to. It's part of the process. It brings something to the transformation that not being healthy to yourself. It's part of respecting and loving yourself. It's what it is. So you start with that. You just start with that. Be like, you know what? I'm going to get a fucking trainer. You have to go to the gym. You have to do physical movement. I'm not talking just yoga. Like physically, you have to get your muscles working. You have to get your cardiovascular system working again. And I'm not saying this because like you have to like lift heavy things like, oh, like I'm not saying it on any of that. This is a whole different level of your body needs to be at its as healthy as it possibly can to what you can possibly do. Because there's lessons to be learned in that of commitment, of discipline, of starting to take care of yourself, starting to respect yourself, and starting to love yourself. It starts there in the physical realm. That's where it starts for true transformation, in my opinion. It builds this new understanding of what your body is to you. And that then you start understanding it holds your emotions, it holds your thoughts, it holds your beliefs, it holds your spirit, your consciousness, it holds all of it. And is connected to it. Again, oddly fucking enough. And as you get physically healthier, you will start asking questions. Because you'll start feeling better. And you're gonna notice, man, if you're really aware, you're gonna get annoyed of complaining. You'll get annoyed of how you think. If you start seeing like, man, if I change my body like this, and you get that confidence started, that physical confidence started, you start asking questions. And if you're truly aware, man, this doesn't end. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And it's a hell of a fucking path. It's a hell of a ride, man. Figuring out yourself, it's out of 42 years, man, it's the most important thing I've ever done. Is to start to get to know who I am and what I am. And fuck, for 42 years, I don't know who the fuck I was. I was not me. I was not me at all. I was a puppet to the fucking system. And the system exists. And if you don't see that yet, again, you're just not at the right time to be open to that. And that's fine. And that's fine. But aren't you curious to get to that point to be like, what fucking system, man? Doesn't it just tickle your brain a little bit? Because this shit's real. It's fucking real. And I didn't believe it when I was fucking depressed and fucking overweight, and I didn't believe it. Thought they were all fucking, man, that's the fucking plan the whole way. There's a fucking another world outside of that, man. You don't miss it. You don't miss the materialism. You don't miss the drama. The constant fucking emotional roller coaster every day. You don't miss it after a while. Because being calm inside, being peaceful, feeling joy, knowing your reactions, having a confidence to yourself, an authority to yourself. Fuck everyone else, to yourself, man. You owe it to yourself. Guys, it's such a fucking beautiful thing. It's such a fucking beautiful thing. But it's not fucking easy. And I've said that many times, and it's not. And that's what people aren't honest enough about. But it's worth it. It's really worth it. And you start seeing yourself in a different light. And the thing is, like I said before, like a journey's come to an end. They do. But people who are like, I'm on an emotional journey. Like, first of all, I can tell you right now, you're full of shit. People who say that, who talk about like, I'm on the path, I'm changing myself, they are not fucking doing anything at all. Because as you move on in this, if you're doing this the right way, you won't even fucking talk about it. And the fact that they're saying that, you'll see that and be like, I used to say that. And I know what that means. It means you're hurting inside. It means you want people to congratulate you and you want to feel accepted. But you're not fucking doing anything about it. You're half-assing it. Because the farther you get down the path, the more you realize you don't have to talk about anything. You don't have to tell people what you're doing. You don't have to tell people about your weekend. You don't have to tell people if you bought a new car. You don't have to tell, because you get to this understanding where it's part of the fucking game. It's just part of the fucking daily boring fucking routine where everyone talks about their shit because everybody needs to feel fucking accepted and loved. Everybody's suffering, man, and everybody's just looking to feel better every day somehow. They avoid the things they don't like, even though they don't know why they don't like them, and they try to fit everything they like into a day. The path isn't like that. The path is, why do I like this? Or why do I like this, but why don't I like it? Because for every like, you gotta have a don't like. So you like hot showers, but you don't like cold showers. And it's always the opposite almost. Well, why don't you like cold showers? And don't lie to yourself, because you got to be brutally honest. So you start cutting, you got to start cutting through the superficial answers, the superficial, unconscious, conscious answers. It's a lot of work. But you're not going to want to stop when you start seeing changes. And you won't see changes right away. You really do. Fuck. Don't think in a fucking week you can be like, oh my God, I'm changing. And you're not fucking changing. So shut the fuck up. That's a pattern. That's an insecurity. You're lying to yourself. I'm telling you right now, you're lying to yourself. The amount of fucking lies that we tell ourselves in a day is incredible. Incredible. You can fucking sit there and be like, I don't lie to you. Fucking lie to yourself. Everybody lies to themselves. They just don't know they're lying to themselves, but you're fucking lying to yourself. This is the shit you gotta wade through at the beginning. It's a mind game and a fucking half. If you want to, in my opinion, do this right. You don't want to leave any fucking survivors when you roll over those fucking towns in your head of insecurity. You don't want anybody living in there. You don't want nothing, because that thing will fucking stay there and it'll grow and it'll just come right back. You're going in there fucking to blowtorch everything to a cinder. You're purging all of these little insecurity towns in your head and fears. You're purging them. You're burning them to the ground. No survivors. Anything that's left behind can grow and come back. And then you kind of have to go back and you won't be able to level up if you leave survivors, is what I'm trying to say. You got to clear each level. And some things hide, man. Some things fucking hide in there. And it could be weeks and months where you think you got better, but you haven't felt that emotional shift yet. And those emotional shifts are real. You feel it right in your chest. And your mind you just feel a weird course of energy go through your body, and you're kind of like, what the fuck was that? And you've changed on a fucking spiritual level. Your consciousness just grew a bit. But at the first get-go, man, it's a mind trip, man. It's frustrating, and people stop all the time because it's hard. Being honest with yourself, guys, is fucking so hard. It hurts. It hurts going through memories. It hurts saying, you know what? The other person that I hated so much, they're fucking not the problem. I'm the problem. Why are they making me feel this way inside? Those are the questions you got to ask yourself. And you have to be honest. It can't be, well, because they talk loud. That's not a real answer. Because then you have to go, well, what bothers me about them talking loud? Well, it hurts my ears. Well, why does it hurt my ears? Are they really being loud, or maybe I have sensitive ears? Like, you have to go, like, I was asking shit like that to myself. Those are the questions I feel you need to ask yourself. Because you need to start understanding why you are the way you are now. Why are you the way you are now? Why isn't your life truly where you thought it should be? And I'm going to tell you, that answer is also a fucking lie. Because it's based on your beliefs and your likes and your dislikes. So it's just a product. You don't know if the dream you want is really the dream you want. Because you don't know if your beliefs are even things you believe. Or they've just grown into patterns in your head and it's just this fucking circle that keeps going on every day. Do you understand that? It sounds fucking insane. It sounds absolutely fucking insane. I know. Trust me. I know. I was there. But holy fuck, I'm on the other side. 5 years in. Guys. We bullshit ourselves every fucking day. So much. And if you could just work to the point where you can see some of that, then you start seeing it in others, man. And that's when shit just blows your fucking mind. And you start realizing, oh my God, we are all fucking puppets. And you start questioning, like, wait, is there another? And there's another way. There's a better life. You can live in the capitalism. You can enjoy it for what the fuck it is. But you're so peaceful inside. Your emotions, they don't go up and down every day. They're just little ripples now. And then when they have your ripple, you go, well, what's that? And then you question and figure it out. And next time you have less ripples. But there is a path. And anybody can take the path. It's open. And I'm telling you, it's fucking worth it. It is worth the work. It is worth the tears. It is worth the heartache. It is worth the fucking loneliness. It's worth it all. It's worth going through it all. And I can't tell you how long it'll take you. Only you know that. Some people might go faster than others. Some people might catch on quicker and be like, oh yeah. But I'm telling you, there's a world where you don't have to worry about it all. You just don't have to worry. You don't have to engage. You just enjoy life because you understand what life is. You understand the beauty of life. You understand that you have these emotions and these thoughts but you can control it all. It takes time, but you get better at it. The longer you go, you get better at it. It becomes easier. And you kind of let the transformation after a while kind of just becomes this natural process in your day and in your life. And you go with the flow of it. You don't push yourself to learn more. You don't push yourself to change faster. You just understand that there's this fucking rhythm to it all. And you find your rhythm, man, and you just go. And that's when life just starts really changing. Because you start seeing your potential. You start understanding that you just keep growing. That's the point. You just keep growing. No matter what it is, you just keep learning. You just keep moving forward because you want to get better for you. You want to see just how good you can become. You don't worry about competing against others. You don't worry about what the other people are doing, except for maybe, a little insecurity. But again, you take care of that now. At that point, you take care of it. You go, hey, what is this? You naturally feel the changes in your body, in your emotions, and you go, hey, what's that? And then you can work on it and get rid of it. But it's chaos at the beginning. So if you're going to do this, just know that it's not a journey. It doesn't end. It will get easier. And you will fall in love with it. You will truly fall in love with your own self-transformation if you do everything right. If you just don't stop. And you understand that even if you do fuck up at some point and you fall back, you have the awareness in yourself to go, yeah, that's fine. It's part of the process. But why did I fall? And you question that. And you just start clearing things out one thing at a time. But you can fucking do it. I did it. If I could do it, you could do it. And it's worth it. It's worth it to find out who you really are. Even though That seemed like bullshit to me for my whole life. It's true. There's an awesome person inside of you that you're never going to know if you don't turn around and start digging. If you listen to all of this, thank you. Hope I didn't bore you. And we'll see you again soon.